Hello everybody, welcome back to It's Business with Mike. Today we are going to talk about location. Okay, you've got this great idea, you've put it all together, and now you're ready to find a location. Now we're not speaking about an e-tailer, someone who does business online. That's a whole different scenario. We're dealing with the retailer that needs a brick and mortar, needs a store space for people to come in their space, whether it's a service or whether it's products that you're selling, whichever. But location is extremely important. So let's dive into that. You ready? Let's go. The first thing you need to know about locations are usually they're classified into an A location, a B location, a C location. And what those mean is many things to different people. An A location can have a lot of traffic. Maybe it's a lot of traffic on the road. Maybe it's a lot of traffic in the complex itself. It depends. There's both. So you have to look at both of those. The other part is it established versus is it a brand new location? This makes a difference also. Another aspect of it is, are you doing a franchise? Like you're buying into a franchise? Or are you starting like a mom and pop shop? Something that is not a franchise. Those do make a difference. So let's go back and let's explain those A, B, and C locations and kind of break those down. An A location. It may be a brand new location in a great spot that has a lot of traffic in the way of driving by the road. So your store is going to see a lot of traffic. It's going to get a lot of eyes. Or is it? It does make a difference. There may be millions of people or thousands of people driving by on that road, but they're not paying any attention to what's going on. Most people drive with blinders on. Okay? Always remember this. Our eyes see what our mind tells us to. So if we are looking for a certain product or service, driving down the road, we may see that sign or that storefront that goes, oh, hey, I was looking for that. Because that's what's in your mind to look for, and therefore you see those things. Having traffic going a lot up and down the road may be good. And for a brand new location, may develop into something very, very special. Another A location is one that may have a lot of foot traffic. So it's a developed complex that has a lot of people walking on that property. So maybe there are several stores through there. Yes, that may raise some competition, depends on what product or service that you're selling. However, there's a lot of foot traffic on there. That can also be considered an A location. So what's a B location? A B location may be around the corner from that. Maybe it doesn't get as much drivable traffic. Maybe it doesn't get as much foot traffic. But it's right around the corner from those A-listers or those A locations. It's a little bit further. Maybe it's next to, maybe the next street over. You don't know. This complex could have a lot of foot traffic, and the complex next to it, not so much, based on what is in there. What about a C location? A C location is a location that may not get as much foot traffic, may not get as much drivable traffic, may not be in the place in town that is considered all the big guys are over here or all the big stores are over there. So maybe it doesn't have those. You have more mom and pop stores. You have less franchise stores in that area that would qualify that as a C location. What does it matter? It matters depending on what kind of product and service you're getting and advertising and marketing that you are going to do. If you're a franchise, it helps you because you already have a name established for your product or service. So more people know your name, so it's more recognizable. More people are going to go to that location right off the get-go. If you have a franchise, maybe then you can look at that B location or that C location because your name is reliable and it's going to drive traffic to that area because people know the name, so they're going to go there. Make sense? That saves you some money in rent and lease because you're not paying that high traffic area. So that would save you money. If you don't have a franchise, traffic is king. You need people to come in your store. So you want the most visibility, right? Maybe. Let's break that down. If you have a mom and pop store, so not a franchise, and you are looking at a brand new location, because it's brand new, yes, you are going to have some people go, let's drive through there and see what's there. That's going to give you a little bit more foot traffic in the beginning. Because it's a new location, it's not completely developed. There's not many stores in there already. And you may be sitting there waiting for people to come in, waiting for other franchises or other stores to open up around you. That will take longer for you to get going, and it does affect your bottom line because you're still paying rent and you're sitting there waiting for somebody to come in. You're waiting for the complex to build something next to you and get open in other stores. If you have a location that is well developed, maybe it's not an A location, but it's well laid out. It's well set up. It's full. It's already going, and you can put your store in there and open up. You are immediately going to have more foot traffic because it's a developed complex already. That's going to help you overall in getting your store going. So maybe a B location may be a little better than that brand new what will be an A location. Maybe it's an A location that is well developed and you have a chance to go in there, grab it and go. Let's do it. The foot traffic and the drivable traffic that's going to come by you is going to make a very difference. You will pay higher rent. You'll pay higher lease. But the third one, let's look at a C location. If that C location, okay, maybe it's off the beaten path a little bit, but maybe it's well developed. Does it fit what you do? That makes a difference also. Having a C location isn't always a bad thing. You're just going to have to get people to drive over there. That's where a lot of times your franchise, if you have a couple of franchises or if you have a franchise near you, helps drive that traffic. If you like our videos, please, and thank you, but please subscribe, like, share, and comment. It helps us a lot. What if I go into that A location that is brand new and you're waiting for things to open up around you? What do you have to do? You're going to have to advertise more. You're going to have to market more. You're going to have to get out there in the community and do a little more things for the community to get your name out there. Maybe it's sponsor a 5K or whatever. You get the idea of you have to get out there. You're going to have to spend more marketing dollars until that A location gets fuller and puts more foot traffic across your front door. Again, if it's a well-developed complex that's an A location and it's not new and it's set up and you plug yourself in there, you may not have to do as much advertising and marketing because it has so much traffic already that it will help drive sales for you. If you have that B location, you are going to have to market it more. You're going to have to advertise more to get people to turn the corner and go over there instead of going somewhere else. If you have a C location, you're going to, again, have to advertise it more to get people to go there and drive down the street a couple of blocks or something, a little bit further off the beaten path to get to you because they don't quite know where you're at. So your money is going to be in advertising and marketing more so than other things. But what's the reverse side of that? Those A locations that are brand new, high rent. You're going to get charged a lot of money. And you're going to have to wait to get people to get there. It's going to take a while for that complex to build up and get open. Now, once it is, fantastic. In the meantime, you're paying that high dollar rent. Going to that B location, you're not spending as much rent. Therefore, you can add a little bit more advertising dollars. So you have a little bit more in that budget because you're not paying as much rent to get there. That may pay off better for you in the long run. The third option, C location. C locations have a lot less rent, so you're not paying as much month to month there, That helps you especially get off the ground. And then you can also use your advertising budget and dollars, and as you grow, add more to it to get people to drive to you and do more business in that way. So there's 3 completely different types of locations makes differences. If you'd like to be on the podcast, please reach out to me. I'd love to showcase your business. So let's do it. You know how. Come on. You can send me a message. Did you send me a message? Okay. Now I'll give you a little bit of an example. I had 3 stores. One was an A location, brand new. One was a B location, well developed. One was a C location, is a C location. A lot of drivable traffic, but an older area in location wise. So it wasn't in the glitz and glamour area that where everybody drove to. They drove by and went to that A store or those A locations. How did my stores do? Store number 1, and by the way, these were not a franchise. So store number 1 in that A location struggled to get off the ground because I did not have anyone else open next to me on either side of me. It took a long time for that area to grow and get going, and therefore it struggled in the way of getting business. It had a ton of traffic. If you could go, okay, I'm in city B and I want to, where's the most traffic? Oh, it's right here. That's where our location was. But again, people driving with their blinders on, you have to advertise more. And we found out that we had to do a lot more advertising until that complex got off the ground. And it took a while. Those build outs aren't up overnight. So it took a long time for those things to go and grow and become that true A+ location. But it wasn't a location in the way of drivable traffic. It was brand new. It's going to take a while. My C location, I got the C location because I did deliveries. And that C location gave me a larger space so I could house my product there. And it allowed me to be kind of a centralized location so I could deliver and I could still do business. And then with the combined advertising together with that A and that C store, it was an easier thing. It was easier to make a profit out of that store because I didn't pay as much rent on that, even though I had a much larger location. So bottom line, it was easier for my break even. It was easier for me to make a profit in that location. So overall, yes, I was doing better in that C store than I was in my A store that I was paying top rent. My B location was very developed. There was one spot and we were able to come up with a lease and get it done. Very well developed, very going on. It had a decent amount of drivable traffic and a very good foot traffic. But because of the town that it was in, it wasn't that high populated town. That made it that B location because there wasn't as many people as there are in the other 2 locations. My rent was actually very low. That area happened to be, unbeknownst to me at that time, a higher end area. That became that became my most profitable store of the 3. Low rent. I didn't have to do a lot of advertising, but combining the 3 stores to advertise helped keep my advertising budget lower. And I had a lot of foot traffic, people driving in there, walking by on the sidewalk, walking by the store. And I sold a higher dollar per product in that store than I did in my other stores. So that store became my number 1 store, my most profitable store. And by all instances, everybody would say that was a B location. It wasn't fantastic, it's a B. But it did very, very well. It was very profitable for us. Yet I struggled with that A location, that A+ location that everybody was like, oh my gosh, you're going to kill it. Not so much. It was very hard to get that store off the ground, and I was paying a lot of rent. And I had to pump some more advertising in that store to make that store work because it hadn't taken off yet. And that was just, that complex hadn't built up yet. As it built up, yes, it got better, which therefore became easier. I could back off the advertising a little bit, and it did, and it did very well. But of the 3, my B location was my best location that we had. Those are something just to keep in mind of why you're out there looking for location for your business. There is so much more to finding a location, and we'll get into that at another time. But that gives you just kind of a basis about what type of complex or what type of location to look for your business while you're out there shopping and while you're out there looking. Do I get an A location? Do I get a B location? Or will a C location work for me? If you're thinking about investing, reach out to me also. Kenson Investments is a great place for you to grow your wealth. Now let's switch gears and let's talk about the cryptocurrency market. Has it taken off? Has it gone down? What's going on? We were in a death spiral. We thought that it kind of bottomed out. What's going on? Now it's kind of just going what we call sideways. Up a little bit, down a little bit, up a little bit, down a little bit. It's right here. It's not going up. It's not going down. It's just staying right there. That makes it difficult to predict the market because at some point it's either got to go up or it's got to go down. Right now, it is still a wait and see. Waiting for it to either go up or waiting for it to continue to reset and go down. At some point, it will stop and it will start growing again. But right now, it's just kind of going sideways. Bitcoin right now is at $68,005 at this moment of when I'm doing this video. Hopefully, it will begin to rise again. And it will rise again. It's not dead. We're just getting started again. Ethereum is at $1,984.33. So again, it's kind of calmed down. It's come down, kind of sitting there Again, it's just kind of going sideways a little bit. We need it to grow up or grow down. We'll see what happens. But right now, that is where Ethereum is at. XRP is at $1.48. Kind of hanging out there, staying there. Again, it's kind of going sideways. Will it get going? Yes. Will it go down? We don't know. We hope not. But right now, it's at $1.48. Thank you so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. And we'll do this again next week. Bye now.